Hello, film fans. What up? It's your boy Tay Talks Talkies, and let's talk film. Episode 5 of Season 3 of The White Lotus. Let's talk about it. Things are finally heating up, and I know I keep saying that every video, but they're finally getting to that point where the bubble is about to burst. And I think next episode, episode 6, we're going to see some really crazy events take place. Now, let's talk about what I think about episode 5. We'll just start with talking about what happened. So we follow two main storylines. The group of the trio of girls, Kate, Lori, and Jacqueline, and we follow Locke, Saxon, Chloe, and Chelsea on their boat escapades. And the girls, they go out, they want to party. Valentine takes them out with his two Russian friends. They're getting crunk, they're getting lit, they're partying, and they start taking shots. And Lori is getting hammered. Jacqueline, you can tell she's getting all crazy girl, because she sees a group of younger girls looking at them, and she's like, yeah. Jacqueline is the main villain of this season. Let's just say that up front. She is the main villain of season 3. This woman is evil. She's everything evil about the world. She only cares about herself. She only cares about her appearance. She only cares about being vain. She only cares about proving that she's the best. It's the most annoying type of person you could ever imagine. She doesn't actually care about her friends, and we see that when she hooks up with Valentine. Yes, she keeps telling Lori, you should hook up with Valentine, blah, 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 blah. But then as soon as there's even some trouble in paradise with her husband, she's acting like her and her husband have this wonderful relationship, and he's not answering her calls. So she's like, you know what? I'm going to bang Valentine. And she does. She bangs Valentine. And it's just so grimy, and it just feels icky watching that after she was telling Lori, you should hook up with him. You should hook up with him. She only cares about herself. She only cares about her self-image. And she is the most evil character in season 3. And let me just say, the brilliance of this episode is that it keeps making you feel like something bad's going to happen around any corner. We keep feeling like something bad's going to happen with the girls and the Russians. They're going to get drugged, and they're going to get Bill Cosby'd. We keep thinking that something bad's going to happen with Locke and Sax. We see them taking drugs, and they're getting super drunk, and it just feels like something bad's going to happen. And I personally felt like Locke, because he never really drinks, because he's never taken drugs, I was worried he's going to overdose. And luckily that didn't happen. So yeah, going back to Locke and Sax and their situation, they're partying, they're taking drugs. Sax is trying to get Locke to get laid. Chloe, she keeps saying that she wants to hook up with him because she likes how innocent he is, and Greg/Gary doesn't give her enough attention. She even mentions he might kill her if he ever found out, and obviously she either A, knows that he's done that, or B, can just tell he's that type of scumbag. So we get a little glimpse into that with what she said there. And Chelsea, she keeps calling Rick, and Rick just isn't answering. Rick meets up with Sam Rockwell. Sam Rockwell makes a cameo, and he is fantastic. He lit the internet ablaze with his soliloquy about becoming an Asian woman. He realized from all of his lustful nights with the women of Thailand that he actually wanted to be a woman. And then he started paying guys to treat him like a woman. You know what I'm saying? And then that drove him to find Buddhism, and now he's a Buddhist, and he doesn't drink, he doesn't have sex, and he has found enlightenment. And that's a big theme of this season, is enlightenment, spirituality versus the materialistic and lustful things that are preached to us in Western world. We see it with Piper. She finally tells the parents that she wants to move to Thailand and become a Buddhist. We hear the mother, Victoria, say, you want to move to Taiwan? She doesn't even know what country she's in. She's that out of touch with reality. And Tim, he's so caught up in his own stuff, he's not even processing what she's really saying. And it's misconstrued by Victoria that he's just so taken aback by what Piper had just dropped on him that he's just that stressed out. But he needs to tell his family what's going on. And he has a perfect opportunity. At the end of the episode, he has the gun to his head. He wrote a note that said, I'm sorry. And he's about to at least contemplate. And then Victoria walks in, and she's like, what has been wrong with you? And he had the perfect opportunity just to come clean. They're going to find out regardless. He knows himself. They're going to find out. If he doesn't, they're still going to find out. So wouldn't you rather live and tell them about what happened? And yes, it sucks you have to face the consequences that your family realizes that you did illegal things. But he would rather die, it seems like, than actually face that music. So something interesting with that. I don't think he's actually going to kill himself. I think that's pretty obvious. I think what's going to happen is he's going to keep contemplating it. And then I think the way his character arc's going, I think he's going to tell his family. I think he's going to come clean and tell his family. I think that's the only way his character can get resolution. So I'm at least hoping that for his character, but it could end in complete disaster. We see Rick get a gun from Sam Rockwell's character, and we are getting closer and closer to that confrontation with that rich guy that owns the White Lotus. Is Rick going to kill the rich guy? I don't think he is. I think he's going to just want to confront him, and he's going to, in the last second, decide, I don't want to stoop to this level and kill this person. An interesting theory that I like, that I cooked up in this crazy little brain of mine, is I don't know how he's going to get it back to the hotel. What if he takes that gun back to the White Lotus Hotel? Maybe he takes like a boat instead of taking a plane back, or maybe the planes in Thailand, there's little puddle jumpers. Maybe they don't have great security. I don't know. But he's going to get the gun back to the White Lotus. He's going to find out that Chelsea, in fact, cheated on him with Saxon. I think maybe a foursome is going to happen with Saxon and Locke and Chloe and Chelsea. And maybe he finds out about it, and maybe he goes to try to kill Saxon, and maybe Tim has his gun from Guy Talk, and they have a shootout. And that's what we hear in the beginning of episode 1, is a shootout between Tim and Rick. They already hate each other. We've seen that tension building, and I think it's a fun idea to have them have a shootout, and that's what we heard in the beginning of the episode. We see Chloe and Chelsea kiss. They're all partying. They're having fun. And then we see Locke and Saxon kiss, which was weird because they're brothers. But then Locke goes in for another kiss, and it's a more intimate, passionate kiss. And Saxon's like, what the hell? Chelsea's like, what the hell? Chloe's loving it because she's a freak. But we see that Locke's confused. He's a good kid. You could tell he's a good kid. He's being pulled this way by his sister, this way by his brother, this way by his mom, this way by his dad. He's a good kid just trying to figure out the world, and he may have some confusion about his sexuality. We've seen him staring at Saxon's ass and staring at Saxon in weird ways, and maybe he's hot for his brother, which is really weird, but he's just confused. And I think maybe a foursome will happen, and then he'll be focusing way too much on Saxon, and that will create like a really weird moment. But it was really bizarre, and I'm hoping that poor little Locke figures it all out. Another theory of mine is that he forgoes college completely and moves with Piper to Thailand, and her quest for spirituality prevails, and he joins her. And I think that's a nice ending for those two characters, because they seem like the most altruistic and most honest of all the characters in this season. And then we see our girl Belinda getting freaky with a boy, Porn Chai, which is a crazy name. The man has the word porn in his name, Porn Chai, but we see them hooking up finally. They figure out what the sound was. It was a lizard in the room, which could be a diversion. It could still be something with Gary going on. But for now, the lizard is what was making the sound in the room. And then we see them hooking up, camera cuts, but we can conclude that they did the no pants dance. You know what I'm saying? So Belinda, it's funny and ironic that Belinda is the one that gets action and not Chloe or Saxon, the two that are the most lustful. And yeah, that's pretty much everything from episode 5. Let me know what you guys think. Are you enjoying season 3? What do you think is going to happen in episode 6? And what do you think about my theories? Like, comment, share, subscribe. I really appreciate each and every one of you. I promise you, if you subscribe, I'll keep pumping out great content. That's a guarantee from Tay himself. And stay tuned for next week. Tay out.